I found my wife's old iPhone in the garage. I didn't mean to find it. It was buried under a box of Christmas decorations, coated in dust, its once white case now faded into a dull gray. An old iPhone long forgotten. My wife, Claire, had switched to a newer model years ago, so I assumed she must have tossed this one aside and simply never got around to getting rid of it. But something about the way it was hidden, wedged under tangled lights and cracked ornaments, made me pause. I picked it up, turned it over in my hand, and felt a weight in my chest. Not the kind of weight you get from nostalgia. The kind that whispers, "Don't open this. Leave it alone." I should have listened. Charging the past. Later that night, while Claire was upstairs showering, I dug through my drawer for an old charger. The phone was completely dead. When it finally flickered to life, the Apple logo glowing in the dark, I swear my hands trembled. What was I expecting? Photos of us from years ago. Silly texts. Maybe a few cringe-worthy selfies she never showed me. The lock screen lit up. No passcode. That should have been my first sign. Claire was meticulous about privacy. Her current phone had Face ID, passwords, even an app lock. But this one, wide open. Almost like it was begging me to look. I scrolled through apps half-heartedly until I saw messages. There were dozens of threads, most old and inactive. Family, work, few friends. Then I saw it. A thread labeled only with a first name, Maya, her best friend. The first message. I opened it, expecting harmless banter. Maybe funny memes, inside jokes, or talk about shopping. Instead, the first thing I saw made my stomach drop. "I covered for you. Don't worry, he'll never know." The message was 3 years old. My chest tightened. I scrolled. "You're crazy, Claire. If Mark ever finds out, it's over. Relax. He's clueless. Besides, it's not like I don't deserve some fun." Froze. Mark. Name. My wife. Talking about me. I scrolled faster, the words blurring together as a different picture of my marriage unfolded before me. The secret thread. Last night was insane. I didn't even think it was possible in his office of all places. "You're going to get caught. Stop doing this at work. You don't understand, Maya. He makes me feel alive. Mark just doesn't anymore." Live. That word cut deeper than any curse could. For years, I thought Claire and I had a solid marriage. Sure, life had gotten busy, work, bills, routines. But we laughed, we shared dinners, we planned vacations. I thought we were happy. But here, in black and white, she was telling her best friend that another man made her feel alive. And I was just the clueless husband. The spiral. I scrolled through months of confessions. Detailed accounts of nights she told me she was working late, trips she claimed were girls' weekends, mornings she said she was going to the gym. Lies. And Maya knew. Maya helped her weave excuses, cover her tracks, gaslight me into thinking everything was fine. He asked me last night why I smelled like cologne. I told him it was just a new perfume sample. LOL, did he buy it? Of course. He always buys it. The walls seemed to close in around me as I read. I wanted to stop. Every part of me screamed, "Put the phone down." But I couldn't. I was trapped between needing to know and wishing I didn't. By the time Claire came downstairs, hair damp, wearing her favorite robe, I had read enough to know my marriage wasn't what I thought it was. Dinner in silence. She smiled at me like nothing was wrong. "What do you want for dinner?" I was thinking pasta. Her voice was soft, casual. The same voice that had whispered, "I love you," countless times. I nodded, but I couldn't bring myself to speak. The phone burned in my pocket like a loaded gun. At the table, she chatted about her day, about a coworker's promotion, about how we should repaint the living room. I stared at her, studying every movement, every laugh, wondering how many of them had been rehearsed. She noticed my silence. "You okay?" I forced a smile. "Yeah, just tired." But inside I was unraveling. Sleepless night. That night, while she slept peacefully beside me, I lay awake staring at the ceiling. My mind replayed every memory of the last few years, Vacations, anniversaries, lazy Sundays on the couch. Were they real? Or just a performance to keep me in place while she lived a double life? At 3 a.m. I slipped out of bed and went back to the phone. The last messages in the thread were over a year old. I can't keep doing this. It's too risky. So what, you're just going to stop? Yes, I'm choosing Mark. He doesn't deserve this. Choosing me. The words should have been a relief, but they weren't. They were ashes. She hadn't chosen me out of love. She'd chosen me out of fear. Because the risk of getting caught was too high. Confrontation. The next evening, I couldn't hold it in anymore. We were in the kitchen, she chopping vegetables, me pretending to scroll through my phone. My heart hammered in my chest. "Claire," I said, my voice low. She glanced up. "Yeah." I pulled the old iPhone from my pocket and set it on the counter. Her hands froze. The knife slipped, clattering onto the cutting board. Where did you find that?" "In the garage. Buried under a box." "Why was it there, Claire?" She didn't answer. Her face drained of color. I leaned in. "I charged it. I read the messages." Her lips parted but no sound came out. She stared at the phone like it was a bomb about to explode. "Tell me it's not true," I whispered, though I already knew. Tears welled in her eyes. "Mark, please. Tell me you didn't betray me. Tell me you didn't laugh about me behind my back with your best friend. Tell me our whole marriage hasn't been a lie." Her knees buckled, and she gripped the counter for support. "It was a mistake. I ended it. I swear I ended it." I let out a hollow laugh. "A mistake. Claire, a mistake is forgetting an anniversary. A mistake is leaving the stove on. You don't accidentally sleep with someone for months." Shattered trust. She tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. The distance between us felt like a canyon. "I love you," she whispered, voice breaking. I shook my head. "You loved what he gave you. And when it got dangerous, you came back to me. Not because I was enough, but because I was safe." Her tears fell freely now. "I was scared. I didn't want to lose you." "You already did," I said. The words tasted like blood. Aftermath. For days we lived in silence. She begged me to go to counseling to give her a chance to prove she'd changed. I couldn't even look at her without seeing the words on that screen. "He'll never know. He always buys it." Every smile she gave me felt poisoned. Every memory we shared felt counterfeit. One night I packed a bag. She stood in the doorway, shaking. "Please, Mark, don't leave. We can fix this." I zipped my suitcase. "You broke something I can't fix. Trust isn't glue, Claire. Once it shatters, you can't put the pieces back together without cutting yourself." Her sobs echoed down the hallway as I walked out the door. Epilogue about words or gestures. It's about truth. And once you discover the truth, you can never unsee it.